Let's be real. Most of us weren't handed a roadmap to financial success, especially if you come from an underrepresented and underserved community. We weren't taught to invest, build wealth, or protect our futures. We were taught to survive. But now the goal is to thrive. And today I'm breaking down 6 pillars of financial literacy, no fluff, no fancy talk, just real talk for real people ready to take control of their personal finances and rewrite their money story. So stick around to the end where I reveal the biggest secret to mastering money. Let's get into it. Let's start at the root of it all: income. Whether you work a 9 to 5, run your own business, or you've mastered the side hustle game, the goal isn't just to earn, it's to maximize what you earn. And here's how. Learn how to negotiate your salary. Research average salaries in your area for your current position. Then use that amount as the basis to open the discussion with your manager about a pay increase. Here's an example of how to approach your manager. You say something like, based on my skills and my research of industry standards, I'd like to discuss a pay increase that more closely aligns with the market. Got it? Also, if you feel like you're simply in a job or career that just does not pay well, then it may be time to up your skills. Look for high income skills like coding, digital marketing, or even content creation. You can learn many of these online for free or at a very low cost. And look into trades like electrical and plumbing. They pay very well and are in really, really high demand right now. And side hustles still matter. Maybe you cut or braid hair, or you're really good at fixing things, or you have a hobby that you can monetize. These are all money makers. I could go on, but the point is just get creative. There are so many non traditional ways to earn money these days. Just take advantage. No matter what route you take to increase your income, remember this: money isn't a trophy, it's a tool. Just put it to work. Okay, let's take this a bit further. Once you've taken steps to maximize your earnings, you need to focus on keeping as much of your hard earned money as you can. And that's where budgeting comes in. Start by creating a zero based budget. What does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. A zero based budget is simply a method of organizing or budgeting your income and expenses so that every single dollar is accounted for. Now, let's be clear. Budgeting shouldn't be about tough restrictions and depriving yourself. It should really be about giving every dollar that flows through your hands a job. Make that money work for you. Budgeting is one of the most practical tools in financial literacy because it teaches you how to take control of your money and stop letting the money control you. So start by separating your expenses into needs versus wants using the 50/30/20 method. With this method, you put 50% of your total expenses into needs like rent, groceries, bills. 30% then goes towards wants. So this will be entertainment, going out with your friends, self care, or other fun stuff you like to do. And the last 20% goes towards savings and debt payoff. Even if you're thinking, yeah, these numbers don't work for me, that's fine. Use this as a guide. You can always tweak things later. For example, if you choose to reduce the amount you spend on entertainment because you have a large amount of debt to pay off or because you want to save up to make a large purchase, then do that. Make this method work for you and your situation. The key is to just categorize your buckets of expenses. After you categorize everything, as you can see, every single expense has a job. You won't have any leftover or play money because your total income now equals your total expenses and you have a zero based budget. The best way to understand exactly how that's happening is to find out where the money went for the last 30 days. Then start tracking your day to day spending today. And you can start simple. Make a note of everything you spend in a notes app on your phone. And if you like a little bit more tech, you can use apps such as Mint or YNAB, or even a good old spreadsheet. Whatever method you use, just make sure it works for you. The more comfortable you feel with the method, the more likely you are to actually use it. Once you understand where you've been spending money, ask yourself the following questions. Did I need to spend as much as I did? Did it bring me joy? Did it negatively affect my money goals? These questions will help you decide what to keep and what to cut. And even if you still can't decide, start by putting these expenses on the chopping block. Unused or redundant expenses. Are you actually using that gym membership? Do you really need that extra streaming service? Also, frequent takeout. Maybe limit yourself to once or twice a week instead of daily. And impulse shopping. I always suggest using the 24-hour rule. If you want something that's not a need, wait 24 hours. If you still want it, then budget for it. And here's the benefit of doing all that wonderful tracking. You get to see how all those seemingly small charges really do add up. I mean, $5 spent every single day adds up to $150 a month. That's over $1,800 a year. Think about that as you consider how much you can actually save each month. And honestly, it really doesn't matter if you start with $5 or $105. Just start saving. Try to save your first $500. When you hit that, set a goal to save $1,000. Eventually, work your way up to saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses because when, not if things happen, you want to be prepared for them. Whatever you do, start small and keep it steady. The goal is discipline. As soon as that paycheck hits the bank, have a portion automatically sent directly to your savings account. That way, you don't have to think about it, and even better, you won't get the chance to convince yourself that you can't do it. And I know you're probably thinking, this sounds like a lot. And is all this work even necessary? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, it is. And let me tell you why. Managing expenses is actually where most budgets break. Why? Because spending money is very emotional. Sometimes we spend to feel better or to escape, and certainly to reward ourselves. And you know what? That's valid. But unconscious spending is very dangerous. You don't have to be rich to manage your money like a boss. Track what you spend, cut what doesn't serve you, and prioritize what aligns with your goals. This is how you start to build strong personal finance habits that actually stick. That's the kind of day to day work that brings financial literacy to life. Now, let's move on to credit and debt. Credit can be your friend or your worst enemy. And the difference? Knowledge. Understanding how credit works is one of the most misunderstood areas of financial literacy. But once you get it, you unlock so many doors. Learn how to build credit intentionally. Good credit opens doors to things such as housing, cars, and sometimes even jobs. Here are some things to focus on to help you boost and maintain good credit. Number one, pay your bills on time. This is the biggest factor. Also, keep your credit utilization low. Ideally, keep balances under 30% of your available limit. And number three, don't close old accounts simply because you're not using them. I know it can be very tempting to do that, but length of credit history matters big time. You can check your credit report yearly and for free at annualcreditreport.com. I'll put a link in the description below. Review that report, make sure you recognize all of the accounts and that the data is correct. Dispute any and all errors as soon as you see them. So, what about debt? It's not always evil. There is bad debt and there's strategic debt. Bad debt consists of high interest credit cards or payday loans. Strategic debt can be things like mortgages or business loans. And if you're in debt, don't panic. Here are some effective strategies you can use to pay it off. First, the debt avalanche method, which focuses on paying high interest debt first. And second, the snowball method, which focuses on paying small debts first. This second method can actually help you build momentum and get excited about paying balances down because you see the progress much quicker. And check this out, debt is a season. It doesn't have to be a life sentence. You can dig your way out. Now, moving on to a topic I know you guys have been itching about, investing. Most of us weren't raised hearing about stocks or retirement plans. But guess what? Today, we're going to talk about it. Investing is how you beat inflation, build passive income, and create generational wealth. And it might feel intimidating, but it's one of the most empowering parts of personal finance. Building this piece of your financial literacy toolkit actually helps you grow your money long term. So consider this. If you just leave your money sitting in a checking account, it actually loses value over time because of inflation. Investing allows your money to keep growing and compounding as you sleep. So here's how to do it. Just start small. You don't have to have a lot of money to invest, and you definitely don't have to start big. If your job offers a 401k, especially if they also match your contributions, then contribute. Contribute, contribute, contribute. That match provided by your employer is literally free money. And if you don't have a 401k, not a problem. Just open a Roth IRA. You can contribute after tax dollars and the money grows tax free. You can open up one of these accounts at many different financial institutions, including your bank. And if you'd like a video that goes more in depth on how to do this, just drop me a comment below. And finally, look into index funds and ETFs. Think of these as baskets of mixed fruit. You could either buy a single apple or a basket with apples, oranges, and bananas. Investing in index funds and ETFs allows you to diversify your portfolio, which basically means you don't put all your eggs in one basket. And always remember this, time in the market beats trying to time the market. The goal is to start now and just stick to the basics. Keep it simple and you'll be fine. Now, a lot of people skip this next part, but protecting what you build is critical. Insurance is often overlooked in personal finance, but it's actually a major part of complete financial literacy because what's the point of building wealth if you can't protect it? So I know what you're thinking. Insurance costs too much. Well, that may be true, but think about how much more an unplanned event will cost you. Health insurance, car insurance, renter's insurance, or even life and disability insurance can potentially save you from a financial disaster. It's not about fear, it's about freedom. This is freedom from being too stressed and worrying that if something happens to you, you won't be able to take care of yourself because one emergency should not erase years of progress. So here's what to look into. First, health insurance. And I know this isn't the most widely available solution for many of us, but get it as soon as you're able, even if you're young and healthy. Also, when the time is right, and especially if you have kids, get life insurance. A term life insurance policy is typically very affordable and effective. You don't really need much more than that to start. Also, get renter's insurance. Why? Because if you had to replace everything you own today, it would cost you a fortune. You may not think that this is important if you rent, but most, if not all, landlord insurance policies don't cover the tenant's property. Don't learn the hard way. You also need to get and maintain car insurance. If, God forbid, you're in an accident and you need your insurance to pay for damages or to help you get another car, if you don't have insurance, you're going to be out of a ride. And finally, get disability insurance if you can. Typically, something like this can be offered through your job's insurance plan, and it covers you in case you cannot physically work and you still need to be able to pay your bills. As you get more into building your wealth, you'll also want to consider a will or a trust. This can help protect your family from legal messes such as probate court. When we talk about building wealth, especially generational wealth, it's about protecting your whole legacy. And now, the biggest secret to mastering money? Mindset. It's not math. It's actually about shifting the way you think about money. You're not bad with money. You just weren't given the tools. And that's fine. You can change the narrative. Instead of saying things like, I'm just bad with money, say, I'm learning to be better about money. Don't say things like, managing money is hard. Instead, say, money management is a skill that I'm perfecting. You see the difference? And please stop calling yourself broke. You are not broke and you are not broken. There is power in the spoken word. So speak positivity into your wealth building journey instead of focusing on the negative. The good news now you have the tools, the knowledge, and the mindset. Start viewing money as a source of power instead of a source of stress. This is about owning your future through financial literacy. You're not just learning about money, you're changing your story, and that is power. Well, that's all I have for this video. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a more detailed video on any of these topics. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's ready to get wild about wealth. Take care.